There's a longing in your chest that defies all logic, a quiet ache, an invisible thread pulling you toward someone, even in silence. The angels see it. And they whisper, "This pull is not madness. It is memory. You weren't placed in this person's path by chance. Your presence is a sacred interruption, a divine dissonance sent to break open what they buried. You are the question their soul had forgotten to ask." The angels show me an unplanned meeting that left a deep mark. Two eyes meeting in ordinary light, but something timeless occurred. And since then, something within them has been unraveling. A certainty has taken root inside them, quiet but unyielding, that you are part of a truth they never dared to imagine. You may wonder why they keep their distance, why they hesitate when the connection is so clear. It's because they feel exposed. Your presence awakens their essence, and essence always feels overwhelming to a soul accustomed to merely surviving on the surface. The angels say, you carry keys to doors they locked long ago. That's why their spirit both trembles and leans toward you. This is not a story about romance. This is about mission, about divine assignment. You were sent not to fix, but to remember together. And the beauty is, just by being, you're already doing it. Hearts don't always recognize purpose through comfort. Sometimes they encounter it through disruption. And you disrupted them like a prophecy. The angels ask you to hold this truth close. You were never just passing through. You were sent. For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. Ephesians 2 verse 10. They look at you with quiet reverence, and yet they step back. Again and again. You feel it like a wave, closeness, then distance, warmth, then cold. And it confuses you, doesn't it? The angels lean in now and say, this isn't rejection. It's fear wearing 1,000 masks. This person has walked with wounds stitched beneath their smile. Wounds from a time when love meant loss, and closeness meant chaos. So every time their heart leans toward you, another part of them trembles with the fear of being seen, and perhaps not being enough. There is a child inside them still waiting for the moment love doesn't leave. Still waiting to trust that gentleness won't turn into abandonment. And you, with your light, your unwavering soul, you've touched that child. You've awakened a part of them that believed it was safer to stay numb. They don't know how to tell you this. How to say, I want you, but I don't know how to hold what I feel without breaking. So instead, they disappear into silence. But the silence isn't empty. It's full of questions, of longing, of prayers they don't know how to say aloud. The angels want you to understand, you didn't cause their retreat. You're simply the first one who made staying feel terrifying and sacred at the same time. Sometimes love doesn't flow in straight lines. Sometimes it weaves through the cracked places, slowly, very slowly, turning fear into freedom. And that's where you are now, in the sacred in-between. There is a tenderness in you that no one taught, a light that stays on even when others forget to say thank you. And lately, that light has been flickering, hasn't it? The angels place their hands gently on your heart and whisper, you are not here to carry what is not yours. Loving someone in process doesn't mean losing yourself in the pause. You were not sent to rescue. You were sent to remember your own worth in the middle of the wait. Sometimes love asks us to stay. Other times, it asks us to stand still in our own center while the other finds their own way. This is not about proving your devotion. Your worth has already been established, in light, in breath, in the way the universe aligns when you choose yourself. You've given so much without keeping track. And now, heaven is asking you to rest. To pour that same devotion back into your skin, your joy, your dreams. The angels say, the more you care for your own soul, the more your light becomes magnetic, not just to others, but to your own destiny. You are allowed to take up space, to laugh while healing, to rise even when no one claps. You are allowed to shine without wondering if your glow will scare them. Love does not require your exhaustion. Love, the divine kind, expands when you do. So breathe. Eat softness. Drink beauty. Choose stillness if that's what your soul asks. Because you cannot be the lighthouse and the lifeboat. You didn't mean to expose anything. You were just being you. And yet, your presence is a mirror, one they never asked for, but can't look away from. The angels speak now, softly but firmly. Your light is not the problem. It's the clarity it brings. You've walked into their world like a sunrise entering a dark room. At first, it felt warm. Then, unbearable. Because the parts they've hidden, the guilt, the shame, the fear, suddenly had nowhere else to hide. They see themselves in your strength. But they also see their silence, their hesitations, their half-truths. And that's hard. Not because you're judging, but because you don't need to. Your presence alone speaks a language their soul can't ignore. They may pull back. Not because they want distance from you, but because closeness means confrontation. And not with you, with themselves. The angels reveal this. You came as a spiritual interruption. Not to criticize, but to reflect what they forgot, their own capacity for truth, depth, and vulnerability. You are not here to dim your essence to make someone else feel safe in their numbness. Let them flinch. Let them feel. That discomfort is sacred. It means the soul is waking up. And if they ever told you that you were too much, know this. They were finally feeling something real. The mirror doesn't lie. But it doesn't shout either. It simply waits. And you are still that light. Something is shifting. You can't see it, not yet, but you can feel it. In their tone. In the pauses that carry more weight. In the way their eyes linger just a second longer. The angels say, the seed is cracking open. And you were the rain. For a long time, this person slept through their own life. Went through the motions. Played roles. Stayed safe. And then you appeared, not loud, not forceful, just real. And that changed everything. Now, in quiet moments, they replay your words. They remember how it felt to be seen without needing to perform. They wonder how someone like you exists, soft and strong, tender but whole. They used to believe love meant losing control. But now they wonder, what if love is actually the most honest form of grounding? The angels reveal this. Their soul has started whispering things their mind doesn't yet understand. Like why their chest aches when they think of you. Or why silence no longer feels peaceful, but incomplete. This is the beginning of awakening. Not grand, not loud, but real. The kind of awakening that rewrites what a heart is willing to risk. And it's not finished. It's barely begun. But you'll know it by the way they start to show up, in glimpses. A message at the right moment. A shift in energy. A presence that says, I don't know how to love you yet, but I'm learning. The angels ask you to notice these flickers. Not as promises, but as proof. The heart you touched is stirring. And this time, it won't go back to sleep. You've felt it again, haven't you? That familiar retreat. The step back just when things start to feel close. And your heart aches because you know this rhythm too well. The angels say, this is not rejection. This is rhythm. The sacred resistance before surrender. This person moves in circles, not lines. Forward, then back. Closer, then gone. It's not to hurt you, it's how they survive what they don't yet know how to receive. They grew up in places where love had conditions, where affection could vanish without warning, where trust came at a price. So now when they feel something real, they flinch. The angels whisper, they are not running from you. They are running from the story that told them love equals pain. When they pull away, it's not the end. It's the pause before the next arrival. It's the moment the wound says, can I really have this without losing myself? And I know it's exhausting to hold steady when someone you care for drifts like a tide. But the angels ask you to see it differently. Each time they return, they carry more of themselves. Each time they leave, they are digesting what you stirred. This is not a straight road, but it is sacred. And you are not stuck. You are steady. Like the moon, you wax and wane with patience. Like the tide, you rise without begging. You are not here to chase. You are here to witness. Because even when they turn away, they always circle back to where they felt most seen. Your love was not loud. It didn't demand. It didn't beg to be chosen. It simply stayed, quietly, patiently, like a balm over wounds they didn't want to name. The angels say, this person doesn't fully understand what you gave them. Not yet. But their soul does. They remember how your voice softened their fears. How your presence slowed their racing thoughts. How, for the first time in a long time, they didn't feel broken in someone's gaze. And they may never say it. They may never find the words. But every time they think of you, something in them exhales. You became the medicine they didn't know they needed. Not because you fixed them, but because you never asked them to be anything but human. The angels show me this image, your love like light through a window, never forcing its way in, just offering warmth if they chose to open up. And they did. Even if just a little. Even if only for a moment. They let you in. Now they carry that warmth, even in your absence. Even when their words fall silent. And that love? It's still working. Still unraveling knots. Still reminding them. You are not too much. You are not unworthy. You are not alone. The angels say, love like yours leaves fingerprints on the soul. You didn't come to save. You came to remind. That healing begins the moment we stop hiding. And even in silence, your love keeps whispering to the places that ache the most. Sometimes, the quietest moments are the most sacred. The nights you lay awake wondering why nothing makes sense, those are the nights heaven leans closest. The angels speak now, not with urgency, but with certainty. Everything is unfolding. Just not in the way you imagined. This path, with its delays, its pauses, its aching silence, is not punishment. It's preparation. You've been asking why. Why the mixed signals? Why the hesitation? Why do you feel so much, and they seem so unsure? The angels reply with a whisper only the heart can hear. Because your story is not just about love. It's about timing and trust. This person was never meant to meet you fully until they could meet themselves. And now they are being led. Not by logic. Not by pressure. But by grace. Every missed message, every awkward pause, every time they pulled away, it's all been used. Nothing is wasted in the divine. You may not see the map, but you are still moving. They may not say the words, but they are still listening to the pull in their chest when they think of you. The angels are orchestrating what cannot be forced, and they leave you this promise, wrapped in scripture. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6. Let that be your compass. You are not lost. You are led. There's a part of them they keep hidden, not out of cruelty, but out of fear. And lately, it's been trembling. You've seen it, felt it, that flicker behind their guarded gaze. The angels reveal. They want to let you in, but the door is old. The hinges creak with past hurt. They were taught that needing someone makes you weak, that showing emotion invites betrayal. So they built walls, strong ones, quiet ones, and then you came, and your light hit every locked room. Now they stand at the edge of their own defenses, aching to leap but paralyzed by what leaping could cost. The angels say, this is not indifference. This is self-preservation dressed in silence. They wish they could say it out loud. I'm scared you'll see the mess behind the charm. I'm scared I'll never be enough for someone like you. But shame has a cruel voice. It says, hide, or be left again. Yet your presence, gentle, steady, unthreatening, is softening something. You're teaching them that vulnerability doesn't have to mean pain. They are learning slowly. That intimacy doesn't always demand a performance. That real connection comes not when we are perfect, but when we are raw. And in their own way, in broken phrases, in awkward pauses. They are trying. The angels ask you to hold space, not to wait, but to trust. That healing is not a straight road. For when I am weak, then I am strong. 2 Corinthians 12 verse 10. That verse, let it cradle your doubt. Even cracked hearts can choose courage. You've done all you could, not in striving, but in being. And now, the angels draw near to say, you can rest. There is nothing left to prove, nothing left to fix. You loved, you hoped, you opened your soul like a sky unafraid of storms. And now, it's time to breathe into the surrender. The person you longed for? They are on their own journey now, guided, supported, and gradually awakening. But their pace is not yours. The angels want you to understand. Love does not fail when it isn't returned in the way you imagined. It only fails when we forget who we are without it. You are not the wait. You are not the silence. You are not the absence of a reply. You are the miracle that stood at their door when they forgot they had one. And whether they ever return, you remain whole. The universe saw your courage. Heaven honors your gentleness. Let go of the timeline. Release the script. Let the divine edit this story. Because what's real will rise. The angels say, you will be chosen, not for how hard you loved, but for how true you stayed to yourself. So keep moving forward, not in bitterness, but in blessing. The kind of blessing that only comes when you release with love what your soul once begged to hold on to. Because what is yours, what is meant for you, will not miss you. And if this was the chapter that opened their heart, perhaps the next one will open yours.